The Basilica of San Lorenzo is a Christian basilica from ancient roots dedicated to the Christian martyr San Lorenzo. It is also the only Roman monument that is still very visible in Milan. It stood outside the city walls along the Ticinense course. This extremely old religious building is of great importance not only for art history, but also for all sacred Western Christian architecture. It can be compared to San Vitale of Ravenna and to the Aquisgrana Cathedral. Its construction dates back to the Edict of Constantine, the period during which the empire's capital was moved to Milan, and still suffers from the style of Roman architecture in its best expressions. To stabilize the church, large blocks of stone taken from the nearby amphitheater were used. A vast arcaded atrium, in front of which we can now admire the statue of Constantine, was the monumental entrance to the church, which consists of a very large quatrefoil central plan hall on 2 floors. 4 big exedra, semicircular recesses, are located at the end of the line of the 2 principal axes and are divided into 5 compartments by 4 columns. A porch runs around the entire interior, both on the ground floor and second floor, and a large Baroque dome of the 16th century with an octagonal base and conical plumes dominates the structure. The Matroneum, a balcony that is now only partially visible, the octagonal chapel of St. Hippolytus, the chapel of Sant'Aquilino, the ancient baptistery where, in the apse, there is one of the best preserved Roman mosaics in Milan, and the chapel of St. Sixtus complete the church. The structure is thus an example of the model of Byzantine ecclesiastical central plan buildings, recalling that of Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. As a matter of fact, Oriental influence has been recognized in the square towers at the 4 sides, with the apses inscribed within the square thus formed. Today the interior walls are monochrome, but once the lower half was covered with slabs of marble, while the vaults, the arches, and all the most elevated parts were decorated with bands of mosaics depicting scenes from the lives of saints. Around 800 Anno Domini, countless decorations and 4 towers to strengthen the walls and the no wooden vault were built. But in the late 11th and early 12th century, the church suffered extensive damage. At the beginning of the 11th century, a fire destroyed all the embellishments, such as mosaics, painted beams, and bejeweled vaults. there was a restoration, but they sacrificed the interior decoration, and during the 12th century the building partially collapsed. It was reconstructed soon after, but unfortunately in 1124 there was another fire. Some documents show that during the reconstruction in 1124 the square dome was modified and came to be octagonal. In 1573 the dome collapsed again. The last significant work was completed in 1591 and left as a result what we see today, with the exception of the porch, which was completed only in 1894, that consists of 3 arches interspersed with Ionic pilasters, but with its monumentality it has the disadvantage of obstructing the view of the rear basilica complex. The outside instead was very different. A portico composed of 16 columns removed from a pagan building remains as witness of the ancient structure, given that, over the years, many huts were built between the basilica and the columns. On the back of the building, the Piazza Vetra extended, where probably there was a basin of malodorous water. Nowadays the square is a public garden, and it is part of the Parco delle Basiliche, that also includes Sant'Eustorgio, another basilica of great artistic and historical importance.